Good morning, everyone. So we are going to start in Supta Baddha Konasana today. So you will need all of your, as we did last week, you'll need your blanket, your belts, and your bricks. So let's get started. Come to our mats. And as I explained last week, oh, I just realized I don't have my headset. 1 second, I'll be right back. I was missing. Okay, I am back. Hopefully you can hear me better now. So let's come to our mat. And as before, we're going to use our blanket folded to support our, narrowly to support our spine, a couple of pillows to support our head, so our head is slightly elevated. And then we're going to sit on the mat in front of the blanket, bringing the bricks to either side to support your knees as necessary. And then we're going to take the belt and create a large loop. So going through 2 loops and then back through 1. All right. Take off my jacket. And then taking the loop over the head and placing it around the hip bones, not the waist, but down along the bones of the hips, so they're not pulling on the back. And then we're going to take it over the toes, which are together here. I'm going to tighten the belt a little bit just to pull the feet in towards the body to whatever's comfortable for you. Okay. If anyone's having trouble hearing me, please let me know. Seems like this is working. Okay, great. All right, and once we're settled in, let's lay back onto our mat and our pillows. Hands at your side, close your eyes. Take a nice breath in through the nose and exhaling through the nose. And if you'd like to set an intention for your class, do so now. We're going to be doing a breathing exercise today that involves a slight retention. If you have heart issues or hypertension, those sorts of things, just breathe normally, don't do the retention part. Otherwise, this pradaloma breathing, which is the opposite of what we did last week, which was working on the retention on the inhalation. This time we're going to inhale deeply, filling the lungs completely, and then exhale a third, exhale a third, exhale a third, holding between each third. So let's take a preparatory breath in through the nose. And exhale, relaxing the body. On your next inhale, let's inhale completely. And at the top of the breath, hold it for just a second, and then exhale the top third of the lungs and hold. Then exhale the second third of the lungs and hold. And finally, exhaling the bottom third and the remaining breath, squeezing out all the stale air. And on empty, release and inhale and return to normal breathing. And then let's begin again, starting with a preparatory breath in through the nose, as always. And exhaling. Now inhaling fully, beginning at the bottom of the lungs, continuing through the rib cage, the sides of the torso, and to the very top, as much as you can take in and hold. And then exhaling just a third and hold. Exhaling the second third and hold. And then squeezing out the remaining third of the air and squeezing out as much as you possibly can. And then on inhale, on empty, in a release, and inhale, returning to normal breathing. Just noticing maybe any of the sensations as we work on strengthening the lungs, increasing lung capacity, and focusing on this very powerful energy. And third time, let's take a preparatory breath in through the nose. Exhaling. Now inhaling completely, starting with the bottom of the lungs, through to the diaphragm and the side of the lungs, continuing to filling the top of the lungs and hold. Then exhaling the top third of the lungs and hold. Exhaling the middle third and hold. And then finally expelling all air, completely empty, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Then release the muscles. Inhale deeply and return to normal breathing. And when you're ready, let's take our hands underneath our knees, lift the feet up and the knees in towards each other. You can release the belt over the feet, lift your hips, release the belt, take it over your body and set it aside. Roll over to your side, and you can remove the pillows now and your blanket. And let's come back onto our back. You can leave the bricks at the side of the front of your mat. We'll be using those later. Just lift the hips up. Let's give them a little shimmy. Awaken the digestive system and down. Again, shimmy. And down. Inhale, shimmy. And down. Now bringing your knees up over your body. Let's take the right knee with your, well, actually, let's take the right knee and place it over the left knee first, just sort of crossing the legs as high up in the thighs as you can. Then running your hands down to the corresponding ankle on each side. We're going to pull the legs out and up, finding a stretch. This is wonderful for the lower back, for sciatica, also in your quads where I can feel it in the flexors rather. And breathe. Make sure you're not arching the back up. You want to root the small of the back down towards the floor as much as possible here. And breathe. And when you're done with that, let's uncross the legs, shake them up in the sky, do the other side, crossing them the other way. Again, hands down to the lower calf area, pulling the feet out and then the legs up in towards the body. And breathe. Check your chin, make sure your neck and your jaw is relaxed, your shoulders are down. Noticing any tightness and using the rhythm of the breath to relax into it. And release. Again, let's shake out the legs. Bringing the feet down to the mat, but your knees are still bent. Drop the left knee to the floor and thread your left foot over to the right side, reaching down with your right hand and grabbing that foot if it's available. If you can't reach it, you can just reach as close as you can. And then bringing that right knee up, grabbing the shin with the left knee and finding your stretch here. Now make sure you're checking your jaw, your neck, and don't arch your back as much as possible. Keep the small of the back down towards the floor. I'm not touching the floor with the small of my back, but I'm just trying to keep from overarching the spine here. Relax the shoulders and breathe. And you can release. Again, do a little shimmy, take a little wiggles, whatever you need. And let's do the other side. Now we're going to drop the right knee to the floor, thread the right foot over to the left side. I got to reach down a little bit to grab that with my left hand. Adjusting my hips so that the skin is lengthened here on my hip bones, grabbing my thigh, or excuse me, my calf with my left calf with my right hand. Same thing here. Relax the face and the jaw. Relax the shoulders. Find your stretch. This is wonderful for the inner thigh, groin area. Maybe noticing how the hip releases as you continue to breathe and applying the gentle pressure onto the leg. And exhaling, you can release. Bring both feet up, knees are still bent. And let's begin to rock, taking our hands behind the thighs. Just begin to rock the knees over the body gently, awakening the spine. When you're ready, you can begin to rock the feet over the head as well. And eventually tucking the chin, creating a nice curve in the spine, and doing our spinal rolls. 3, 4, 5 of these, trying to get the whole length of the spine. And when you're done, come up to sitting. And let's do some neck rolls. So with our hands on our knees, let's drop our heads, close our eyes, inhale to the left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, other side. Check your shoulders, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4. Just noticing what's going on with your neck today, and exhale the other side. Feeling free to spend whatever time you need on any parts that might be a little tight or cranky. One more time to the left, excuse me. 4, 5, 6, 7 at the top. We exhale to the other side. And let's go the other side now to the right. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Checking your shoulders again. Keep checking, make sure they're staying down, staying out of it. This is the next turn for a little love. And coming to center. You can open your eyes. Let's take our hands in little fists and gently tap the stomach, continuing to awaken the digestive system. Gentle palpitations here. And when you're ready, let's give our head a little massage here, just sort of awakening. Maybe pull the hair gently, just stimulating the scalp. Taking on both arms up, let's bring the right, I'm mirroring you here, right arm and bend it at a 90-degree angle. Take the other arm, laying it over the forearm of the bent forearm and keeping your torso facing me. We're just going to gently pull and get a little stretch into that shoulder. Breathing here, relax your jaw, space between the teeth. One more breath. And exhale, release, shrug your shoulders, other side, arms out, bend the other arm, take the length of the straight arm, lay it over, torso forward, chin forward, and in line with the, chin is in line with the, parallel to the floor, thank you. And gentle stretch here of the other shoulder. And release, shrug it out. Let's do some wrist rolls. So just interlocking the finger, some gentle wrist rolls one way and then the other way. And then go the other way. And this time involve the elbows and the shoulders. And go the other way. Shake them out. Let's do wrist rolls. So with your hands as taking your hands and making a fist, let's just do some rolls, trying to keep the forearms as still as possible. So we're really just rolling into the wrist and then go the other way. Open your fingers, fist, open, fist. Do a few of those and shake it out. Now taking your feet so that your feet, I think we've done this one before, so the feet are flexed and underneath the knees as much as possible. Mine aren't exactly the same on either side, but basically I have an open triangle between my legs here. Rooting down with our hip bones, moving the skin away maybe so that you have a nice connection with the hip bones to the floor. Inhale, the arms rise, and exhale, this coming into a forward fold. I'll do this from the side so you can see. And we want to work our fingers out, find a nice stretch in the lower back body. I'm still rooting down with my hips, release the head, finding that stretch. But we're looking for length, not curve in the spine here. And exhale, release, walking the hands back up. Now, whichever foot is in front, switch from now so that the other foot is in front. Again, flex the feet under the knees. Move your skin away from your hip bones. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hinging forward. Hands come to the floor, pressing down with the heels and reaching forward with the fingers, finding our stretch. Relax the neck. working on getting a little bit more space between each one of the ribs here. And exhale, walk the hands back. Now bringing your legs around underneath you now. On your knees, and if you need a blanket for padding for knees, feel free to do so. And I have my toes bent, and I'm going to sit back on my toes, bringing my hands forward. We're going to do cats and cows, but working mostly on, since our hips are now stabilized by sitting, we're going to work on just inhaling, pressing out through the top part, the thoracic region of the spine for our Halloween cat here. And then inhale, curving up and looking up for our cow. Again, just focusing on this top part of the spine. Just do a few of these at your own pace. Stretching out, and then inhale, flexing the spine up this way. Exhale, pressing into Halloween cat. Inhale, cow. One or two more. And when you're ready, let's come up, shake out your hands, interlock your fingers, press that same area between the shoulder blades out. Whichever thumb is on top, switch the hands, put the other thumb on top, same press. Get that stretch in the upper part of the body, or upper part of the back. And then let's come onto all fours. And with your knees under your hips, we're just going to do some hip swirls. So you can make nice big circles here with your hips, or you can do some snaky shimmies if you'd like, whatever feels good. Just getting the spine moving. Go one way and then going the other way. Just noticing how your hips feel, the lower back. And when you're done with that, let's spread the knees, come into our child pose. Bringing the hands along the side of the body. And breathe into the back of the body. Release the jaw, check your shoulders. Now, if you'd like, for more of a shoulder opener, you can interlock the fingers behind your back, staying in child. And inhale, lifting the arms up, trying to keep the arms straight, just for a little shoulder opener here. Make sure you keep your jaw and neck relaxed though here. And just play with this a little bit. Continue to breathe. And when you do it, after you do it one way, interlock the fingers with the other thumb on the top. Same thing, so doing the other side. Just noticing maybe the difference between how much movement you have in one way or the other. Relax your arms, shrug out your shoulders a little bit. And when you're ready, let's come up to sitting, sorry. And we're going to need a little bit of room for our next. We're going to do a little hip mobility. So I'm sitting sideways on my mat. I'm going to move my bricks out of the way. And starting on, let's say, mirroring you, let's say your left side, and I'm sitting in a side saddle position with my hands on either side of the back knee, finding that lift and that length in the spine. I'm then going to roll over, come onto my belly, onto my forearms, kick this the right leg over and come over to side saddle on the other side, same thing. So we'll do it back to the other side. Again, rolling over onto our bellies and our forearms, kick that leg over, come up as much as possible, not using your arms if you can, into the other side saddle position. I'll move back a little bit. I'm traveling a little bit on this one. So just play with this a little bit. Thought it was a good hip mobility drill, getting us moving our hips in new ways. Tight hips are a source of a lot of back pain. So anything we can do to move them and loosen them up is good. Kicking that back leg over and coming up. Do a couple more. And just play with that and see how you feel, how that helps. And then let's come into downward facing dog. So coming back to our mat, spreading our fingers about shoulder width apart, lifting up with our knees, coming into downward facing dog and breathe. Inhale. And exhale. Walking your dog now, stretching out your calves. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Now for a bit of a Halloween theme, we're going to do werewolf, which is a three-legged dog. So taking your left hand, coming onto the right hip. So you're sort of threaded through and turned to the side, looking through like a werewolf. And then if you'd like, you can stay there for a little bit of a twist, or if you'd like, you can run the hand down towards the ankle, finding even more. You can control this twist as much as you want. Make sure you're relaxing the jaw and the neck here. And breathe. And release. Come back to regular dog. I'll switch so you can see the other side. So again, now we're going to take the other arm, reach it through, grab the opposite hip, find our twist, staying here. I'm looking under my armpit. Or we can run the hand down to the ankle and with gentle pressure on the ankle, find a little bit more of a twist. And breathe. And release. On your next inhale, let's soften the knees, walk to the front of the mat and come into our forward fold. Uttanasana. Taking your elbows, if you're comfortable here, keeping your knees soft, but holding the elbows with the hands. We can just gently rock side to side or back and forth. Keep the knees bent. And breathe. And then release the hands, come up halfway to Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to hips, engage the core, press through the heels, and come to standing. And then let's just jump around a little bit here, move the body, swing the arms, get the energy flowing. A little bit of running in place, maybe. Shake it out. You can also do some swings from side to side. And when you're ready, let's come to our mountain pose. So with the big toes together, lifting and spreading the toes. Larry, could you get me the clock and put it there? Aligning the outside of the feet with the sides of the mat. And if you have your balance, closing the eyes. And focusing on the bottoms of your feet and the connection of the feet with the mat. Sensing the energy coming up through the body or up into the body through the feet, lifting the arches, engage your toes, engage your calves, knees, thighs. Engage your Mula Bandha. Pull that energy up now to the Uddiyana. Engage your core. Allow the energy to open your heart. Expand your chest. Engage your Jalandhara Bandha. And now feel the energy flowing through the body from the feet up and through the head. Coming to our victorious breath, Ujjayi breathing. And when you're ready, you can release the breath, return to normal breathing, and open your eyes. Moving on to our dynamic flow today, stepping to the front of your mat and with your feet about hip width apart, let's inhale, raise the arms, and exhale, hinging forward to the floor. Inhale up halfway. Exhale deeper into our fold. Inhale, step back right. Exhale, step back left. Inhale, plank. And exhale, lowering our belly to the floor. And inhale, cobra, lifting the hands, shoulders, head, squeezing those muscles as we hold for 2 breaths, squeezing the muscles between the shoulder blades. And exhale, release. Again, cobra, baby cobra, squeezing between the shoulder blades, lifting, lifting, lifting. And exhale down. Now 2 locusts. Inhale, lift the feet, hands, shoulders, head, squeeze all of the muscles, the whole length of the spine. And exhale, release. One more time. Inhale, feet, hands, shoulders, head. Squeeze, 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 pulling those pinkies back toward the back of the body. Your elbows are tight against the torso. And exhale, release. On your next breath, inhale, tuck your toes, press through the hands, downward facing dog, 5 breaths. Inhale. And exhale, taking any movements here that you'd like. Inhale, walking your dog, check your neck. And exhale. Inhale for 3. And exhale. Make sure you're pressing through the tops of the hands, not into the wrists. Inhale for 4. Hips to the sky. And exhale. Inhale for 5. Last breath here. And exhale. Soften the knees. Walk the feet to the front of the mat. Uttanasana. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, hands to hips, press to the heels, engage your core, and come to standing. Let's go right into the second time. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step back left. Exhale, step back right. Inhale, plank. Exhale, belly to the floor. Inhale, baby cobra, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale, hold. Inhale, lift. And exhale down. Again, inhale, hands, shoulders, head. Exhale, hold. Inhale, finding maybe a little bit more lift, squeeze, 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 and exhale, release. Locust, inhale, feet, hands, shoulders, head lift. Exhale, hold. Inhale, lift, squeezing, and exhale down. One more time. Inhale, feet, hands, shoulders, head. Exhale, hold, finding maybe just a little bit more lift. Inhale, and exhale down. Release. On your next inhale, tuck the toes, press through the hands, downward facing dog for 5 breaths. Inhale. And exhale, shaking your head yes and no. Inhale for 2. Exhale. Inhale for 3. And exhale. Inhale for 4. And exhale. Last breath, inhale for 5. And exhale. Inhale, soften the knees, walk the feet to the hands, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to the waist, engage your core, press the heels, and come to standing. Take a resting breath with your hands at the side. And exhaling through the fingertips. Inhale, arms rise again. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. And exhale deeper into the fold. Inhale, step back right. Then this time, exhale, step back left, and let's stay in downward facing dog. On your next inhale, take the right leg up behind you and bring the foot forward, coming into pigeon. Now, remembering the modifications. Pigeon, the knee is in front of us, and the leg is angled, the calf is angled in front of the torso, knee is outside of the hip. Remembering to use a block under the hip if your hip is rolling over so that you stay upright. Bending that back knee if necessary, if that's to make it work for you. Or if none of those work, coming onto your back and doing it upside down. Whatever works, let's come into our pigeon. You can use a brick under the forehead if you need for support, if your head doesn't reach the floor. Breathing into the hips here. On your next inhale, let's walk the hands back to in front of you. Let's walk the hands over to the side. I have my right knee forward, so I'm walking my fingertips over to the side for a gentle twist here. Upright torso, finding a gentle twist, and breathe. And then coming back to center. Inhale, reaching back with your left hand to grab the left ankle. For a quad stretch here, you can use a belt as well if you can't reach the ankle. And breathe. And release. Press through the hands, bring the legs back up together into downward facing dog. Shake it out, we'll do the other side.
So on your next inhalation, let's take the left leg up to the sky, point the toe, bring the knee forward and slant it diagonally in front of you, coming into your pigeon here with whatever modifications your body needs. And then walking the hands out, coming into your pigeon. Breathing into any tense areas. Just noticing one side, differences between one and the other, what's going on with your body today. And when you're ready, walk the hands back up, bringing the torso up on our fingertips. Again, walking the fingers now over to the left side, lifting the torso, raising through the crown of the head, expanding the spine, and finding a twist here. Relax your jaw and don't twist the neck. Keep the neck or the chin over your chest. And then walk the fingers back to center. Again, if it's available to you, now reaching back with the right hand to the right ankle, finding your stretch here. One side is usually the side is a little tighter than the other side. And again, using a belt here, if that helps. And if this isn't working for you, you can practice standing at the wall and doing this, just standing at the wall and holding your, using one hand for stability against the wall and then just lifting the leg up behind you and using a belt there as well. Bring both hands back to the mat, press through and come back to downward facing dog. Let's take a couple of breaths here. Inhale, shake it out, and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Shake your head, yes and no. Make sure you're not holding tension in your neck or in your shoulders, and exhale. On your next inhale, let's soften the knees and walk to the front of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale down. Hands to your hips as you inhale, engage your core, and come to standing. Hands at your side, resting breath. We have one more to do. Yet another new pose today. Let's inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, deeper into our fold. Now inhale, let's step back with the left foot and drop that knee so that we come into a forward lunge. Now grab your bricks. Hopefully they're still at the end of your mat. And just using them for support, we're going to let the pelvis come into this lunge, knees forward of the ankle. And just find your stretch here, lovely groin and opener here. Torso and chin are up. And breathe. Now, using your bricks, I'm just going to walk them to the back now. I'm going to bring my hips back. I'm going to lift my toes and come up onto my heel, finding the stretch now in the hamstring of my right leg. Letting the hips go back a little bit. And feeling as though your head is being pulled past the foot. We don't want to hunch here. We're keeping the spine nice and long. Getting a nice stretch. Again, you control how much of that you'd like by how far you bring up the toes. And then let's come back again. Now this time, I'm going to put the blocks aside. I'm going to bring both hands to the left side of my right foot. So both hands are beside the foot. Inhale, I'm going to lift that back knee and come up onto my back toe. This is our lizard pose. And breathe. Strong pelvis, groin, hip opener here. Now, if you're okay here, you can stay here. This is totally fine and very good for a stretch. If you're good and you'd like to go deeper, you can drop to the forearms for the full lizard, keeping that you're letting the pelvis drop, but also lifting the back calf, finding your stretch. Try to keep the jaw relaxed and breathe. On your next inhale, let's bring the hands up, bring one hand to the outside and press that foot back, and we're going to do the other side. We're going to stay here. We're going to bring the left foot up, drop the right knee, grab your blocks, find our lunge here. Again, checking that your knee is forward of the foot or over the foot, a heel, I should say. Releasing the pelvis, finding your stretch. Chin is parallel with the floor. And then when you're ready, we're going to straighten that front leg, drop the hips back, walk the bricks back, lift those toes. We're on our heel and finding our stretch. Again, feeling that lengthening of the spine, not rounding of the back. As we breathe here. And then we're going to walk back. Bring both hands now, put the blocks to the side, bring both hands now to the inner part of the left foot, inner side of the left foot, engaging your back toes, lift that heel, coming into our lizard. Release the pelvis into the stretch. Staying here for a couple of breaths. And as before, if you'd like, you can drop to the forearms if that is available to you. Looking forward. Deep hip stretches here. And let's bring the hands up. Left hand comes to the outside of the foot. Come into our dog. Couple of rests here. Shake the head out. Press through the fingers. Spread them nice and wide. Final breath. And then let's soften the knees. Walk to the front of the mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to hips, engage your core. Come to standing and bring your hands to your heart. And just taking a moment here with your eyes softened or closed and noticing the sensations of this energizing dynamic flow, sun salutation. And you can open your eyes, keeping the hips or the feet are about hip width apart. We are going to actually cross the hands. Oh no, excuse me, we're moving on to warrior. We're going to step back with the right foot, warrior one. So again, our feet are about hip width apart. Right foot is behind and out at a 45-degree angle. Left foot is pointing forward. Inhale, bring the arms up into our warrior one, bending that front knee, pressing through the pinky toes of both feet. Finding your warrior. Engaging the core, reaching up, finding space in the spine. Now, on your next inhale, moving on to warrior three, Virabhadrasana 3. We're going to bring the arms out like an airplane, lean forward onto our left foot, finding a drishti, a point of focus, and then bringing the right foot up behind us to about hip level and hold. Returning the foot to the floor, coming back to our warrior one. Oops. If in warrior three, you need to touch the toe down, that's totally fine. And just keep raising it and working on lifting it and finding your balance. Moving now on to warrior two, we're going to align the feet so the front heel is in line with the back heel or the back arch. Coming into our warrior two, arms are at shoulder level. Feeling those pinky toes, gripping in, strong legs. Breathing, engage your core. Checking that your arms are shoulder height. And when you're ready, bringing the hands down to the floor on either side of your foot. Bring the left foot to the back. And let's come into downward facing dog for just a couple of breaths here. And on your next inhalation, let's soften the knees. Walk to the front of the mat, coming into forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to your hips, engage your core, and come to standing. And then we're going to do the other side. I'll switch so you can see it from this side. So stepping back now into warrior one with the left foot, which is out at an angle and at the left side of the mat. Right foot is facing forward and at the right side of the mat. Inhale, raise the arms and come into our warrior one with the front leg bent. Gripping those toes. Strong arms here. Finding lift in the chest with the arms. Couple more breaths. Now bringing, a little too close here, bringing our arms to the side, leaning forward over that extended, that front leg, lifting the back, finding your point of focus and lifting the back leg, flex the back foot. Warrior three. And returning then to warrior one. Strong legs. And breathe. Now dropping the arms, moving the back foot so that it's in line with the heel of the front foot, coming into warrior two. Opening the chest, shoulders are back. Looking over your forward arm. And breathe. Strong feet, strong legs. And then let's cartwheel the hands down to either side of the foot. Step that right leg back. And let's come into downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale for 2. Exhale. Inhale for 3. And exhale. Check your chin and your neck. On your next inhalation, soften the knees, walk to the front of your mat, coming into our forward fold.
Inhale up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to your hips, engage your core, and come to standing. Now, being that it is currently almost Halloween, I'd like to have a little fun here and work on something called a spider pose. So we're going to cross our arms, take a big wide step back, coming into first Prasarita Padottanasana. So with our feet about a leg length apart, toes are facing forward at about a 90-degree angle. Hands are at our hips, engage the core, looking up, and then exhale, coming forward, hands to the floor, head to the floor, somewhat between the feet here, finding your balance. Finding your stretch. If you'd like to, you can work the hands forward, finding a stretch that way as well, between the hips and the hands, as well as between the legs, between the feet. Relax the head. Now, if you've extended the arms, let's bring them back to the center between your feet. And let's just walk them over to one ankle. Drop your head here, and let's just do a little stretch here, leaning to one side, holding onto that ankle, foot area. And then release. Let's walk the hands now over to the other foot and ankle. Again, the legs are straight here. Noticing where you get a nice stretch. Back of the leg, maybe lower back, glutes. And then release. Coming back to center. Coming into our spider pose, we're going to turn the toes out at about a 45-degree angle and bend our knees, keeping our hips up here. Cross the hands in front of you. Now, you can stay here if you'd like, or you can continue to walk the hands out and grab the opposing calves. It's sort of an interesting feeling here. Again, staying here, or if you'd like to add a little balance work here, find a drishti and come up onto the toes. Spider. And then if you do it one way, let's do it the other way. So walking the hands out the other way, a little tighter that way for the shoulder stretch here. Find your drishti. Inhale, coming up on your toes. And down. Uncross your hands. And let's come down onto our knees and not to worry about that spider because we're going to have a frog eat him now, coming into frog. So we're down on our knees, taking them as wide as you can with your feet, the ankles behind the knees, and walk the hands forward either onto your forearms if you can. You can use a brick here if you'd like. And just enjoying this frog as he devours the spider. Breathing here. And then coming up onto our hands. Let's press onto our mirroring you here onto your right knee with your right hand underneath the same shoulder. Other hand at your hip. Bring the other leg up, bend it with the foot flexed. So my foot is about hip height. I'm going to kick out and then up, engaging my core here, out, and up, out, 3, let's do 5 or 6. And one more. And let's come down to the other side. So now we're on the other knee. Hand is by the, or underneath the shoulder of the other knee. My right arm is now on my hip, bending and the knee, flexing the foot, kick. Inhale, kick. Exhale, in. Just do 5 or 6 of these, engaging your core. Keeping that foot up, little hip strengthening work. One more. And then let's come down. Let's take a child here, spread the knees, take a little rest. Wiggles or jiggles, and breathe. And one more breath. And let's spread the fingers, curl the toes, and come into dog. Walk the hands, we're not going to stay there. Let's just walk the hands back to the feet. Stay at the back of your mat here with the hands on the mat. We're going to walk the hands back out and come into a plank. So a little strengthening work here, come to plank, and then walk back to the feet. You can soften the knees however you need here. Walk back out to plank. Let's do about 4 or 5, 6 of these. Back in. And exhale, walking out. One more, maybe 2 more. I think I've lost count. And come forward. Let's do one more. Walking hands back to the feet. And then coming out to plank. Now staying in plank, I'm going to bring the right foot up beside the right hand and back. Take the left foot beside the left foot and back. Right foot and back. Left foot and back. Mountain climbers, do a few sets of these. And breathe. It's hard not to breathe here. Woo. And let's drop our knees. Cross your ankles, your feet, the ankles, and come into a seated position. Bringing your feet up in front of you with the toes together. Let's just hug our knees. Take a breath here. Pulling the knees in towards the chest, chest towards the knees. And exhaling. Whew. Good little exercise there. And hands to the heart. And let's bring the toes up. The toes are touching, but we're going to lift the toes off the floor. Engaging our core here. This is abdominal work. Exhale, let's turn to the right and press with the left foot. Come back to center. Exhale, turn to the other side, press the other foot, back to center. Keep your balance. Nice and slow here. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. One more set on this side. And exhale, back to center. Hug your knees. Take a moment. Shake out your back. We'll do one more set of those. And exhaling. Come back, hands to heart. Lift the feet. Toes are touching. Exhale, now let's go to the left. Press to the right. Back to center. Exhale, trying to engage the core so that we're keeping the spine or the small of the back from collapsing back. Nice tall spine. Engage that core. Inhale, center. One more time. Exhale, center.
Very nice. And let's come back now and lay down onto the mat. Okay. And another hip mobility move here. So with our knees, actually you're going to bend the knees of the feet up a little bit, rolling over onto our right arm, forearm, and reaching up as though we're trying to get out of bed or grab a bottle or something that we can't reach. And then coming back, rolling over onto the other side, coming onto our forearm, reaching and lifting that hip. So like you're reaching for a glass of water and then rolling back onto the back. Doing this nice and slow and gentle so that you're not slapping onto the back. Rolling onto the spine, onto the small of the back, and then rolling onto the other forearm, lift the hip and reach. Back to the back. Just play with these as well. A little bit of hip lifting and strengthening work. Other side. And come to center. Let's take the hips about, well, first of all, let's give them a little shimmy there. That feels good. And with my feet pigeon-toed, but about hip width apart, I'm going to take a brick and put it between my knees. Placing my hands on the floor on either side of my hips for support. Inhale, I'm going to lift the hips, coming into a bridge position now, keeping the gaze forward and with your chin centered over your chest. Let's lift those hips, maybe working the shoulders under the chest to get a little more lift. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Press through the big toes. If you'd like, you can even engage the fingers underneath here, interlocking them and pressing through the pinkies to get a little more lift. And then let's come down. Resting breath. And then again, inhale, lift. This time, if you're engaging the fingers, put the other finger on the bottom. Interlock the other way is what I'm trying to say. Squeeze that brick, engage your glutes, lift the chest, and exhale down. One more time. Inhale, lift. Lift, lift, lift. Engage those glutes, squeeze that brick, and exhale down. You can take the brick and lay it to the side. Let's bring the knees up over the chest, roll around a little bit. Coming to our happy baby pose, taking the hands first to the front of the shins and just letting the knees fall to the side. Enjoying this stretch here. If you're good here, you can stay here. If you'd like to go a little deeper, you can take the hands. So I'm reaching through the legs. Take the hands, grab the arch of the feet, bring the feet up over the knees for our happy baby, Ananda Balasana. The feet are over the knees. Now, if you have trouble keeping your head down, put a brick underneath it, underneath your head. And if this is too strong, just stay with the hands behind the thighs. This is just a little deeper. And breathe. Releasing as you breathe, the thigh muscles, any place you need tight. Making sure that the neck is also released, shoulders, other than just the weight of the hands against the legs to provide a little downward stretch or pressure rather. Couple more breaths here. Maybe just seeing if you can get just a little bit more width between the legs, a little more opening, maybe just a half inch. And you can release your hands from the feet, bring the knees in again,
interlock the fingers over the shins and just do some gentle rolls. I'm on the small of my back here. And when you're ready, let's bring the feet down. Extend the legs out. Reach the hands above you. Take a nice stretch. Move however you would like. Any stretches, any wiggles. And then when you're ready, let's come into our corpse pose, our most Halloween of poses, Shavasana. And taking a moment to scan the body, checking the feet, the thighs, the belly. Make sure the hip is released, hips are released. Release the shoulders and the chest, and the face. And breathe. And let's begin to wiggle our toes, our feet, our fingers. Maybe rolling the head from side to side. And when you're ready, bending the knees and coming over the right side, taking a breath here with the eyes closed. And then exhale, pressing yourself up to a seated position, keeping your eyes closed for another moment as you bring your hands to your heart. Come back to your intention from the beginning of class. Feeling the love and the light and the energy of your practice, allowing it to radiate through your intention, enliven it, and radiate out through your body to the community beyond. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Have a lovely week. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Robin. Have a great week.
Thank you.